Okay.
Yo,
That's what The Rock used to say. Remember
he
he
talking
had
about his
the shirt?
tequila.
Hit it now and hit it strong.
What's The Rock's drink that he has? He's like, have my drink backstage waiting.
Terramana, baby.
There it is, Terramana. Oh boy.
Nice night to talk about drinks.
Let's see.
I don't know nothing about that.
He said he
Anyways,
brought up
thank you,
that
brother.
one,
Hugh.
and then there's Cody's.
Bro, he has what?
Wheatley.
Yep. Does he still do his show?
Probably like every other podcast. Faded
Okay.
out.
All right.
Got too busy, realizing it ain't as easy.
Yeah, I figured that was coming. He probably recorded the first 3 and thought he was good, and then realized like, oh, this is getting kind of hard. But
he ain't even got to edit his own show. That's the crazy part.
now he just sits down, takes his cues, asks his questions, has his fun, sips his drink, and going about his business.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, they get off because it's his bus. So, but for those who are watching, you know the red light is on, and you can hop on the Wrestling Realm tour bus because we are back for another episode of the Wrestling Realm Now podcast. Now, what is different about this week's show? There's a handful of things we need to jump into, including Saturday night's main event. They're going to do some very special things for this episode. There's a bit of a tease that we may happen to bring up and or talk about, and we have to ask the $1 million question. What was Brother Hugh thinking when he wore what he wore on the episode of Championship Culture? We're going to get into that. And we're going to ask the question, is Kevin Owens right about Cody Rhodes? Brothers, we may got some proof that he may have some valid points, and we're going to talk about all that and more. Welcome back, Brian H. You guys ready to start the show? We're just a handful of days away from the holiday, but we are going to get it cooking. Let's get it go. So you thought I was going to hit the thing. Nope, I didn't. Psych!
Houston, we have a problem.
Yes! What you gonna do? 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 What you gonna do?
That was a good one. Ooh. Welcome to the Wrestling Realm Now podcast, where we take a deeper dive into the world of professional wrestling. Now, I am your host, the realist himself, the real Dwayne Allen, in the building tonight. And he is your host, super producer, Brother Hugh has the third, A to the A to the S, T to the H to the E, 3 to the R, to the D, in the building tonight. And conspicuous by his absence, he is your host, not just any guy, but the Belt King, Brandon the Guy. And he is your host, the heel. He's back in town, Mr. Steal Your Show, Hollywood, Brian H. Waters in the building. Gentlemen, we are back for another episode of the Wrestling Realm Now podcast. We have a lot to get into tonight. We have to answer a very important question. Is Kevin Owens right about Cody Rhodes? Now, I sat back and we addressed this a couple of weeks ago, but, we kind of got deterred by the drama from our favorite pro wrestling soap opera, As the Bloodline Turns. But we are back now because we're finally going to address this, especially with Saturday night's main event this Saturday. We finally get to dive into this PLE, and we're going to answer the $1 million question of this particular week. Is Kevin Owens right about Cody Rhodes? Now, good brothers, I must say, at one point, yes, I'm always going to ride the Cody train. But Kevin Owens made some valid points, and I'm not sure he has said any lies as of yet. But we're going to discuss all that and more, not to mention some of the hottest things in the world of professional wrestling right now during our segment of What Did You Watch? Because I'm going to tell you right now, it's a good time to be a heel, and we're going to talk about a few heels in particular. Yeah. Brian has kind of alluded to it last week, but we're going to jump into all that and more. But, of course, this is the time where we take a moment to reflect on the newest, the latest, and greatest brand to the wrestling realm, known as Championship Culture. That's right. everything championship culture related, well into season 3. Brother Brandon and Brother Hugh bring us every week, every Tuesday at 8 p.m. on youtube.com/the wrestling realm. The exciting, the conversation of everything championship culture related. So, Brother Hugh, you want to give us a hint about what we talked about this week, but not after to the intro. Now, when you hear that, you know what time it is. We are here to talk about this week's episode of Championship Culture with Brandon, the guy, the Belt King, and super producer, Brother Hugh has the third. Now, Brother Hugh, usually you and Brandon play rock, paper, scissors, or look at each other and do the thing you do to figure out who's going to talk about what this week's episode was all about. But since you're here with us right now, you might as well go ahead and take a deep dive into what in the world this week's episode was all about.
But you asked Brother Hugh, what did we talk about? So we dug deep into our bag, and if you notice, last week on Championship Culture, we talked about the European title, and of course, when it comes to the European title, we always talk about what should it come back, should it be reinstated? So we went to the next step, and we went back and talked about a brand that's no longer with us, but it built a legacy that still lives today. You know, it created some superstars that are very they're doing their thing right now today. Let's say that. Matter of fact, let's take it a little bit deeper. We talked about some sexy championships. Of course, we always talk about sexy championships and championship culture, championship belts. The UK, NXT UK, that's what we talked about. We dove deep into that a little bit and gave our insight on the designs of the titles and which superstars actually made that brand and what they're up to today. That's just about the gist of it.
Well, god dang, that's a lot to get into. And listen to me. You said something very key about those championships. Quite sexy indeed. The NXT WWE United Kingdom Championship. What do you prefer off breaks, Brother Hugh? United Kingdom Championship, the WWE United Kingdom Championship, or the NXT United Kingdom Championship? We've had this debate before, but I want to go live on the air so people can judge us by our decisions. Brother Hugh, which one do you prefer? Hold on, let me put it back up screen. There it is.
I keep going back and forth. All right. I'm going to have to go with the WWE one just because if the NXT was silver, then I can kind of rock with that. But just because the WWE one, it makes sense for me from a marketing standpoint. So I will go with the WWE over the NXT, to be honest.
What about you, Brian? Did you ever tell us what you prefer, the WWE United Kingdom Championship or the NXT United Kingdom Championship?
No, the NXT, I think just because that's the one I got. I was
about to say, which one do you have on your wall?
Yes, the yes, definitely the NXT.
He's looking.
The NXT. Because it's got the NXT side plates. Those are only side plates I had.
Okay.
But yeah,
all right.
I really like it.
Man, if that NXT was silver on that main plate, I'm going elsewhere with it.
Okay. Well, listen, you have a lot to say about that, and you had a lot to say about it on the show last night. And of course, because the realness can't be a part of all the belt conversations, I find a way each week to insert myself into it some way, somehow. So if you are not familiar with our show, guess what? I'm going to tell you once. I'm going to tell you twice. I'm going to tell you 1,000 times because I've got notes. This is for you, Brian H. So, I've got notes. The lineage of the NXT UK Championship. Brother, here, you're going to get a kick out of this one. You ready? Here we go. This was a topic that I was not qualified to have a conversation about. It's because you talk about the NXT UK brand. It was something that I saw in passing, right? It was something that like I would keep up with it. I would hear about it. I would see clips here and there, but I was never fully engulfed in NXT UK. I kept saying, I'm going to get into it. I'm going to get into it. And before you know it, they pretty much decided to close it down for probably some bigger and better dreams when it comes to the European market. Maybe, hint, hint. But I still got notes because I know there's something that we can talk about as far as that show is concerned. These championships, look how sexy these belts are. When you talk about the design of the United Kingdom I want to say the WWE United Kingdom Championship or the NXT United Kingdom Championship. These belts have got to be the most prestigious looking championships that we had at that moment for a long time, right? We looked at these championships, everybody goes, man, that's probably how the main player of the WWE Championship probably should have looked, or there was an expectation of it possibly, and or maybe. So you talk about this lineage, of course, it's not that many world champions. And we don't have time to get into the men's and the women's, but I'm just going to talk about the things that matters to the realness. And I say these things because this is what I divulged in when NXT UK was still around, especially my champions. You talk about my guy, Walter. His name is Walter. Right? Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate, and Ilya Dragunov. Right? Pete Dunne, man, I think the only reason he lost to Tyler Bate in the first place was because he had a naked face. You guys remember that championship match between Tyler Bate and
bro,
Pete Dunne?
I
He had
felt
no facial hair.
that was like when they first did it, right? And it was
that was
like during the daytime.
Champion.
Yeah, I remember vividly watching that like on a bus when it was on Johns Hopkins days. We was on our way to like a work trip and just being like blown away. Everybody wondering what I'm doing. Shout out to the WWE Network.
The old days. We enjoyed those days. Pete Dunne by far was my favorite WWE United Kingdom champion. I mean, just look how he carries that championship. That picture, that moment, Pete Dunne carrying that particular championship is the reason why I've always been a bigger fan of the WWE United Kingdom Championship rather than the NXT version. Now, let me tell you why. I thought the name WWE United Kingdom Championship was much more broad. You know what I mean? They didn't treat NXT like it was NXT. They said, no, this may be the brand and the territory that we're defending in, but this is where the WWE United Kingdom champion resides. You know what I mean? So to me, there was a certain level of prestige when you talked about the WWE United Kingdom defending that championship in this particular territory. You know what I mean? It had such a broad take to it because, to be honest with you, the crazy part is I was more wrapped up in the independent scene of the United Kingdom. So like I'm talking like What Culture Pro Wrestling, Pro Rev, you know, like I was talking about like Progress. They were so like I got familiar with these faces like Will Ospreay, AJ Styles during his time. Like I said, Rev Pro. Oh my goodness, what am I calling
Rev Pro?
Yes, Rev Pro. Like that was the stuff that I remember seeing Pac over there. I remember seeing Pentagon over there. Like for some reason, I was always more engulfed in the independent scene of the United Kingdom, but it didn't translate for me to NXT UK. But like you said, we've got a handful of champions, and if you look at the success of all those, and the most notable one obviously is Rhea Ripley. That the WWE NXT UK brand kind of brought forth. It has its place in pro wrestling history, and I'm sure we'll see it revived in another form of fashion. Like I said, you guys had a very special guest. You had Justin Prototype 619 on the show. But if you want to go back and hear everything else they talked about, please go to our YouTube channel. Once again, youtube.com/The Wrestling Room Playlist Championship Culture Season 3. Catch up on all of Season 1, Season 2, and Season 3. So yeah, that was what that's all about. And I'm not quite done as far as my notes is concerned. Yeah. So it was something crazy about, the show last night, man. I had notes right here. We got to figure out what was Brother Hugh thinking dressed in the way he did yesterday. So I tuned in. He looks like Martin dressed as Nino Brown from that episode.
Where's the dog?
Bro,
right.
I was like, yo, why does he look like freaking Tupac in that Death Row picture from the 90s? I was like, man, he got this whole Nino Brown Martin looking image, man. So he had me thinking, listen, I was almost convinced, right, that before brother you give explanation, I was almost convinced we was about to freaking have a dog come out and attack somebody on the show.
Sick.
Hey, that's crazy.
What's that with you, brother? What was that about? Hold on, let me put it back up there so the people can see it again. Let me just.
I was doing a little bit of a rock, cosplay. I was
Oh,
just in
that's
a
what you was
fanny
going
pack, so
for?
of course. Yeah. No, actually, I wasn't even supposed to be on the show at all, but I decided to stay on. But yeah, that's what happened. That's what happened. I was like, look, I ain't changed my shirt, so I was like, hey, whatever, I'm comfortable. Let me rock with it. You see the baby chain?
Yeah, I see it. I
Look at
see
the
it.
baby chain.
Listen, it brought back good feels and good memories. Like I said, it's everybody's favorite episode of Martin. So, but like I said, if you want to go back, you want to see Brother Hugh and his baby chain and the outfit he had on Championship Culture, go to our YouTube channel once again at youtube.com/The Wrestling Realm. Playlist Championship Culture. So there's that. So I wish you'd have wore that shirt for tonight too. I should have just doubled it up. Like that should have been like a thing all week.
Hey, I actually have it. I can go put it on.
No, it's okay. I'm not gonna make you do all that. You work too hard. We gotta laugh, man. So I can appreciate that. But like I said, we got to get into this show. Now, usually this is the part where I say, Brian H, we got to get into the meat and potatoes of this. Let's start the show, ring the bell. But we've got our good friends with us that have joined us. The Italian Stallion, Rocky and Apollo Creed. That's going to help us start the show. Brothers, gentlemen, help us start this show. It's time to ring the bell.
Want to ring the bell? Ding, ding.
Yo.
And there we have it. The bell is rung. Let's start the show. Don't shake your head, brother. You knew the shenanigans was coming.
He ain't lying.
I'm with it.
I'm not lying. We are here. We're ready to get the show started. Thank you for everybody who's coming in. We got a few friends also joining us in the chat, but also joining us on the show a little bit later. LA Night, you ready to do this, brother? You ready to get down with this on the show? Okay, LA Knight's ready. Everybody else was ready. The Italian Stallion, Apollo Creed, and Rocky, they started the show for us. We rung the bell. Brothers, let's get into this. Let's have this conversation because the people need the wrestling realm. They need our perspective. They need us to answer the tough questions that bring a different look. As we also prepare ourselves for Saturday night's main event, we will preview that show just a little bit later, and we will get into the main event show. We have to ask the question and come up with an answer. Is Kevin Owens right about Cody Rhodes? I don't know. He might be. I was with Cody Rhodes, like I said before, but I'm starting to wonder. But before we get into that, we got to get into the segment that we do every week known as What Did You Watch? Now, if you have never heard of us or you've never seen this before, we do a segment called What Did You Watch, where the brothers sit back and we acknowledge what we watched this week to get our minds and our hearts focused on this particular show. Now, every week we watch different things, but then on some weeks like this one, we have to address certain things. Some things are just too hot in the world of professional wrestling, and this is the time to do so. So this is our segment, ladies and gentlemen. What Do You Watch? Sponsored by our good friends at SeatGeek.
If you're looking to purchase tickets to concerts, live shows, sporting events, and more, head over to SeatGeek.com where you can use our promo code Wrestling Realm for any one-time purchase of $50 or more. That's promo code Wrestling Realm on any one-time purchase of $50 or more.
Good brothers, what did you watch? All right. Now, usually this is the point where I say, brothers, what did you watch this week? But we all watched a few things, and we got to take this time to address it because we have to jump right into Saturday night's main event, preview that show, and figure out what the heck is going on between Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes. We put them on the back burner, but now we're back to it. But there's some things I like to kind of get off my chest. If there's any time to be a heel in professional wrestling, the heels are winning right now. It's a lot going on, and we're going to get into that in just a second. But first, there's a concept that just recently came up. We have Netflix starting on when? January 6th?
The 6th. Yeah.
Yep.
January 6th, 2025, right? And they recently announced this transfer portal. Now, for those who are not familiar with the sports world, the transfer portal is a portal where college athletes can insert their names into a digital space, and they can make the announcement that they are looking to transfer from their location to another school, institution, whatever you want to call it. That same concept is now being applied to the WWE. So we have now opened up a transfer portal between all three brands, between NXT, between Raw, between SmackDown. The brass have decided that we're going to shake things up. We're going to add people to, we're going to pull people away. And now we get to talk about this concept or idea that, hey, maybe some of our favorite superstars can switch shows, can show up here just to shake the rosters up, especially before the debut on Netflix on January 6, 2025. So let's just start there, good brothers. First and foremost, how do you guys feel about the idea? Now, listen, well, I'm not trying to insult anybody's intelligence, right? If you're watching this show, you know we've been watching this for a long time. We know about the trades and we know about the shakeups and stuff like that. This is just a fresh coat of paint, or a fresh painted coat, as they say. How do you guys like this new iteration of trading superstars to different brands as we try to pretty much do a superstar shakeup as we move forward, right before this big blockbuster event of Raw going to Netflix? It's record breaking, it's life changing, it's history making. But how do you guys feel about the transfer portal?
This makes sense. When you really think about it, because the thing about the draft, man, it's the same superstars, right? Same thing. All right, SmackDown gets number 1, Roman Reigns. Raw gets number 1, Seth Rollins. SmackDown gets number 2, Cody Rhodes, or whatever, however they do it. Last year, they put Cody first, obviously, and made Bloodline upset. Boom, you create a story. The reason why the transfer portal makes sense is because that's all we look forward to after the draft is who got moved. We don't need to redraft the whole roster all over again. Just trade them. Just make trades. And I'm interested to see how they do this. Will we see people go out there, make deals? We saw Melo show up or talk to the GM and say, he could be doing this, that, and the other. So that's what I'm interested to see. How do they differentiate the transfer portal?
I just want to see if those titles will switch shows.
Oh boy, I mean, listen, that's a possibility. We have
a huge possibility.
Yeah, we have Cody Rhodes having conversations with Nick Aldis. You know what I mean? We have a lot of people kind of making their play, right? So the good question is when and where are the championships going to go? It's up in the air, of course. We're trying to figure it out. But the idea of superstars being able to kind of make a push and be recruited by the general managers is something fun that I like to see, especially with the the officials kind of making their employ. I've seen Nick Aldis, I've seen Adam Pearce, and I haven't seen too much from Ava, but that is soon to come. But what else did we watch this week? We got to talk about a new type of heat. Now, listen, usually we do, so every once in a while we might do a segment on the show called Too Hot for TV. And listen, we're not going to do a Too Hot for TV segment today, but listen.
Hold on.
Uh-oh.
I just saw a tweet that would be too hot for TV.
Oh boy.
Somebody asked Mia Yim who would be her tag partner.
Oh boy.
At first she said Brie.
Shelton Benjamin.
I know, right? No, she told him he was the least hurtful out of the Hurt Syndicate.
It's not very nice, but okay.
I think the last one that time she said WWE called and then said psych when they showed him up, they released it. That's what she like. That was her biggest. That was the one she wanted. But the thing
that's below the belt. It's not okay.
Yeah. Thing that's too hot for TV. And we all know sometimes in professional wrestling, you got to beat each other up. You got to bleed together before you become a team, like Moxley and Bryan Danielson, and that person being Jada Parker. And I'm like,
me, Yim, and Jada Parker. Yeah, man. How do you feel about that, brother? You?
Yes. I say something. I dare you.
I'm good. No comment.
Just gonna let it go.
No,
okay.
What's that in the mac and cheese and the yams?
See, you should have hit the little breaking news button. We don't have a breaking news button, do we? We got to put one up here.
I thought we had one.
Yeah, but it got flagged because of the music.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah, they be jerks. No, but you know what's interesting? You said what are we watching this week? I got to tell you what's on my screen right now because I would have loved to know how the backstage plan it, and I don't like to get into that too much.
Mhm.
WWE Saturday's Night Main Event, Ultimate Warrior defending the WWE Championship. This is April 28th, 1990. So this is about 27 days after he won it.
Mhm.
Guess who his opponent is?
Who's that?
Haku.
Oh, jeez. You gotta find a way to bring the bloodline into something. Like this is
I
not.
wasn't even thinking. You know,
We
funny
spent
thing,
5 weeks talking about the bloodline, and you gotta find a member somewhere to talk about. Guess who he's facing? Haku, and he's the most dangerous one, so we can't say nothing bad about him.
I wasn't thinking about bloodline. I'm just thinking of. I was thinking about how dangerous he is because the reason is because you've seen the documentary. You've seen Self-Destruction of the Warrior when they talked about his match with Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
And Andre kept telling him, stop stiffing me. And then finally Andre punched him in the chest. So I'm thinking, like, did he cooperate with Haku? This is actually, speaking of belts, he has the white WWE Winged Eagle Championship in this match. But I'm just sitting there, I never watched it before, but I was like, yo, that would have been, like, I would have wondered, like, would he, you know, how tough would he have been? Would he actually paid attention? Would he follow directions?
It's a good question. It's a very good question. You know who didn't follow directions? The New Day. What in the world? You talking about? We talk about heat, right? We talk about Dominic Mysterio heat. We talk about X-Pac
getting
heat.
cheered, by the way.
I mean, yeah, well, there's something spinning. This something might be changing. But we got to talk about when the New Day showed up on Monday Night Raw, and I felt the temperature rise from here to Calabasas. I don't know why I mentioned California, but I was like, wait a minute. I've never seen this type of heat since Dominic Mysterio, since, as they refer to as X-Pac heat. But this was, I mean, this literally set my freaking TV on fire.
Ooh.
Listen, how did you guys feel about the New Day showing up? I mean, I have never seen, even when they were supposed to be bad guys and they were cheating, you know, when people turned on them the first time. But I was like, wait a minute. We might have something here. Now, I think I drank the Kool-Aid, not gonna lie to you. We all just assumed Woods is going to turn heel and do his own thing, and Kofi and Woods is going to have a feud like we've been programmed to think. But I don't know about you, brothers, but I think this is much better. And the overall sympathy that everybody has for Big E has had everybody turning on the New Day. I could not believe it. Now, brother, you did Brian H., you did a show last week referring to this, talking about the heat and the heel turn of the New Day. But when we saw it in action, see, we saw the turn, right? We witnessed what happened. But then the following week, when they showed up to the arena, they act like they didn't do anything wrong. They're trying they dap people up as usual, and everybody's like, "Nah, bro, not cool." And they're like, "What's wrong with you?" You know. And then they walk in, you know, they trying to highlight people, and they like turning their backs on them. And even they run into Cody Rhodes at one point, and this is the best part about the WWE and the callbacks. Right? She always talk about the callbacks, and they mentioned Cody Rhodes. He goes, "I'm just gonna let you know right now. It's not cool." Whatever he said, I don't know. I don't remember the line. And the crazy part was like,
ashamed of yourselves.
And yeah, that's what he said. You guys should be ashamed of yourselves. And then Xavier Woods goes, yeah, like he was a good person in high school, because people don't remember they used to go to high school together. They went to the same high school, so they was like, you know, just stuff like that. Xavier Woods pulling up on him saying, Stu, give me your camera. I don't care if you're John Cena's little friend. Like they hijack the camera, they walk through Gorilla, and they come out to a crazy amount of boos. I was like, yo, what in the world is going on? I would have never thought in a million years that the New Day would get that type of reaction. And when I saw that personally, I said, okay, now we cooking with hot grease, because anytime you get that much heat, they didn't even do anything. They could barely get to their speech and they walked out. Kofi said, we didn't even do anything to him. We could have hit him over the head with a chair. We didn't do nothing to him. Like they really looking like they didn't do nothing wrong. And They couldn't get what they had to say, and they walked out. And I thought it was so masterfully done. But how did you guys feel about the New Day? Probably got a second run in their system now that they turned here. I wasn't really sold on it before, but now I'm like, wait a minute, we might have something here. What are you guys feeling about it?
Wait, real quick. When you say you wasn't sold on it before, are you talking about this time or back in the day when you wasn't sold on that?
I'm talking about this time. Like they've been one way for so long. They've been faces for 10 years. It's not easy to reinvent yourself. Like, you know what I mean? Even it's like Austin trying to be a bad guy. It doesn't matter what you do. You know what I mean? People are going to cheer for you at the end of the day. And Austin has gone on record and said, it's probably one of the worst mistakes I made. People want what they want. They're going to cheer for you regardless. It doesn't matter what you do. You know, there's exceptions like The Rock and stuff like that, because The Rock will get cheered for his entrance. And once his entrance is over, he goes straight into being a heel, because he comes out as a face. He has this moment. He has to stop himself from crying. He got to point to the goosebumps. He gets emotional. Then he snaps back out of it once the music changes. And he goes, "Thank you, brother Hugh." And then he goes right into heel rock. And then people go back to booing him. So there's exceptions, right? But this is the new. We could, I don't want to compare the New Day and The Rock into, Austin.
But so I understand where you're going. I loved it. I love the fact that they kind of like, I feel like we saw it going one way or the other, right? It was either going to be Xavier going to turn heel, or maybe, just maybe, Kofi would turn on Xavier. And it would be one of those things like, okay, both are heels. Now we can, one of them is a heel, and now we'll make them, go against each other.
Right.
This was completely something different. And that's what I loved. I love the fact that they didn't just both be, that they are together in this. And what better way than turning on Big E, because of the fact that he's so beloved. Like anybody,
we found out how much beloved he is.
Yeah, if you ever had the pleasure of meeting Big E, he's just one of the most humble people. He's funny. I mean, you anytime you take a photo with him, you're not gonna get a straight face. He's gonna make a bunch of jokes. You can see like he's happy in his life, and everybody can relate. So when they brought up the girlfriend and everything, that's what made everybody backstage like, right. And it's like that clique of people, and you may not be friends with them, or you may not be in their inner circle, but you know how close they are, right? Like if me and brother Hugh was beefing, and then I did something wrong to him, then it's gonna be the other people's like, nah, but that's your boy. I can't trust you because you did that to him.
Of course.
And that's what made this masterful. And the fact that, shout out to Wichita, Kansas.
They showed up.
Because we always talk about these wrestling towns, and and people bring up the New Yorks, the Philadelphias, the Chicagos, the Baltimores, the Greensboros. You don't hear about this. Most of the time when you hear about them other random cities like Corpus Christi, Texas, it's because they're so bad. But Wichita did what they were supposed to do.
Corpus Christi has a bad reputation.
They really do.
Wrestling shows.
Yeah. But they did what they were supposed to do. They drew the heat. They was a part of the show. They didn't try to hijack it. So, I got to give a shout out to them. And I'll go back to hating Kansas and Missouri after that statement.
Okay, fair enough. Brother Hugh, goodness gracious, you ever think that the New Day would ever get to this point where that was when I was thoroughly impressed with how much people showed their displeasure for the New Day and what they did. I was like, wait a minute. I was like, we got something here.
Man, I was excited. I'm not gonna lie.
Because you with all the BS, you like the shenanigans. This is stuff you like. You like the drama. You like the foolishness.
Absolutely. I was 100% excited when that happened. Is the change is working? They completely swerved it 100%. Everybody, this is one of those times where the WWE didn't give the fans what they wanted.
Yeah,
and that's of course that reunion.
Yeah,
Big E back in everybody it's all happy go lucky, unicorns, pancakes, and bootios, right?
We didn't get that. Unicorns, pancakes, and bootios.
Oh boy, you gave me an idea. I might have to make.
You ain't lying. Oh snap!
But yeah, the swerves, you know, I'm all about plot twists. When that plot twist happened,
Right.
I was
Mhm.
all for it. I was all for it. I was invested. I'm not gonna lie, I was invested. When Big E came out his mouth and said, "Look, I'll come back. I can be your manager. This, that, whatever, whatever. I can't get in the ring right now, but I can be your manager." I'm marked out. I'm not gonna lie. I was screaming at the TV, "Oh my God, we're back! He's back! Whatever, whatever." So that means we're gonna get Big E back in a couple months. That's what I'm
Mhm.
thinking. Then Kofi and Woods hit him with the hand. Like, bruh,
Definitely hit it
nah,
with the.
chill.
Mhm.
Hold your horses, bruh. I was like, I want this more. I want this more.
I was.
And I'm just excited to see what's next for him. I'm just glad that they got the response that they got the next week. And
Mhm.
the way that they just dropped the mics and walked out the ring, they didn't even cut
Perfect.
their promo because they
No,
couldn't cut
they
their
didn't.
promo. It was
That
like,
was a
man,
good part.
forget this, man. I'm gonna stop trying. You know what I mean? Y'all, it's whatever. Let's walk out.
You.
I loved
What
it.
are the
I loved every
chances?
bit of it.
What are the chances that they really didn't have nothing set up? They knew they were going to go out and do this and get this much heat. Is it is
Yeah,
is it
man.
is it likely or not? Because it's like there's no way in the world you do that last week. Like, listen, now we're gonna come out there, we're gonna cut a promo, we're gonna get booed that much. It's like you said, they proved the audience right when they came out there, and it was like, okay, nobody expects the New Day to do what they did. Then they did, and then the proof that it worked was the following week. I said, yo, this is insane. So it's like,
Mhm.
it's
Yeah,
almost
like
like you kind of rewarded, you know what I mean, for the plan put in place. And I'm like, did they really have something to say, at like when they went out there, or they really just planned to go out there and just they knew they were going to get interrupted by the fans, and they said just screw it and just walked out.
I never thought I was gonna be behind a heel Kofi.
Bro, I'm feeling the vibes. I'm not gonna hold you. It's
I'm
it's
with it.
he's on Chris Jericho levels right now. Like he about to have another
Yeah,
run. Like he's about
yep.
to do it again. He got one Hall of Fame career. He got another Hall of Fame. I'm like, bro, he might have room for another run, and I'm definitely looking forward to what the New Day does now. Like
He
I
could get
didn't know I
even
needed
bigger
this,
and
but
better
now
than
I'm like,
before.
yeah, it's like, wait a minute, I think I'm down for this. So now there's been a lot of heels in wrestling, but goodness gracious, what y'all feel about my boys?
Mm.
Yes. I want to say right now on the record, I am proud of all of my favorites. Johnny
Mhm.
Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, Kevin Owens. You guys are doing an excellent job. Sami Zayn, all the bad guys.
Hey, for you.
No, it's cool though. It's just these are guys that were lost in the shuffle at one point, and now they're at the forefront. And who would have known that a little heel turn might bring some money to the banks and the pockets of these superstars who patiently waited their turn? So we have new tag team champions
Mhm.
in DIY. I was over DIY. Like I said, unpopular opinion, not my favorite tag team. They're better enemies. That's just how I like it.
Yes.
Right.
But once again, in this wild wild west and on SmackDown, you better get in where you fit it. So if they got to be a tag team, shoot, let them be a tag team. But are you guys happy that we have new WWE tag? This is too bad, brother Brandon's not here because they be his favorite tag team. And now I'm like, okay, so they brought the TNA guys in just to have them put over the guys they wanted to have the WWE tag team champions. But it was very clever how they pulled this off. And Tommaso Ciampa was actually wearing trunks instead of pants. But brother Hugh,
Right.
you excited to see new WWE tag team champions?
Anytime Tommaso Ciampa is a heel, yes,
Thank you.
I'm excited for it. He is not a babyface at all. Don't
No,
do
I
it
don't
anymore.
like him as a face.
Don't do it. Right. Mm-mm.
What about you,
But
Brian
yeah, I'm
H?
happy. I'm happy for them. Because honestly, the
Go
Motor
ahead.
City Machine Guns didn't. They don't.
You about
They
to
seem
cook?
too. They seem too soft for WWE. I don't know if
They
that's the right
they are
word.
shy.
They don't fit. They don't fit.
They're trying to.
It's kind of awkward. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely that they definitely have that first title run awkwardness where they're like trying not to mess
Yeah.
up. They have no grit to them. Like, and they used to be
Definitely
a
don't.
gritty tag team, right? I'm like,
Yeah.
listen, Chris Sabin, grow your hair out, get the 5 o'clock shadow,
Exactly.
be
Right.
a little edgy, but it's like they're playing nice, they're paying court. And listen to me. These guys waited a long time to get to this point. They just got there. I never thought that
They,
Alex Shelley would ever make it to WWE because he's the only person in the world that did not like Dusty Rhodes because Dusty Rhodes was never a fan of his. So I was like, well,
right.
you don't stand a
This
chance
was
because you were in
yeah.
TNA with Dusty Rhodes, and then you tried to leave, and Dusty Rhodes ended up going to WWE, running NXT and Florida Championship Wrestling, and what will be NXT. for Triple H. So Alex Shelley never stood a chance. But so I think he just gave up.
Rhodes.
He was not a fan of Dusty Rhodes because Dusty Rhodes didn't believe in him. So, you know,
Yeah,
so
I mean,
That sounds like somebody familiar.
who does it sound
Who
like?
doesn't believe in it?
You don't believe me, Hollywood.
oh
You don't believe
man.
me, Hollywood.
Oh man, y'all funny tonight.
I wish I could have seen that. You don't believe me, Hollywood.
Oh my gosh, bro.
You said I didn't. I just forgot. Sorry. Go ahead, Brian H. How do you? we got new tag team champions with a heel DIY. Are you a fan of heel DIY? Like I said, heel turns is just we're handing them out. That I don't know who said something a couple weeks ago, but it was a complaint that it wasn't that many heels in WWE anymore, and that everybody's turning heel. So we got 2 more heels, and we got a tag team. How do you feel? Are you for a heel DIY? Because I don't think I like them as face tag team. I like them as heel, and I didn't think that this is the same way I feel about Johnny G. That's what I call Johnny Gargano because that's my friend. Johnny G is the same way I feel about like Kofi. I think I didn't think I needed him to be a heel, but I kind of like the angle that he's spinning with. But you know, what's your take, Brian H?
Look, if they got to be on my TV, make them a heel. It's that simple.
Okay,
I ain't mad at it. I like it. They got to be. Look, they got to be there. You know, it's a place for them in WWE. Obviously, make them a heel. Let's do this. I'm all for it. I was happy they won the titles because, you know, man, look. The Motor City Machine Gun. You know, I just realized right now this ain't my tag team wrestling ain't my thing right now.
right.
And you know, so I can admit that, you know, that's the time I use this bathroom break or a snack break or food break.
Dang, that's what I said. Sheesh.
It's just no
Brian H?
like I'm really sitting here thinking outside of the New Day, it's no tag teams moving me in the men's division. I'm enjoying the women's side, but
that's because the Good Brothers aren't there. Machine Gun is hurt.
That is true. That is true.
That's what you're missing, Brian H. I don't think you know that you needed that, but I just figured I'd put it out there. Maybe that might be the reason why you're not, because the OG Good Brothers aren't there.
Yeah, because I mean, you know, like on Saturday's Night Main Event, right? On this show was the Rockers, no, the Heart Foundation and the Rockers. You know, as a child, that was greatness, beautiful tag team on my television. But no, it's just nothing moving me. But like I said, that you know, Motor City Machine Guns, like, okay, congratulations, you made it. Happy for y'all. You know, cool. They probably need
making, brother. You
said, I know, right?
Not feel it.
Yeah, nah.
No,
okay. They feel very Kaden Carter and what you call it to me?
Katana Chance.
Yeah.
See, I got their names right this time.
You did.
It's what it's. I don't know. And like I said, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but it seemed a bit forced. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I felt the same way about what's her name? Alba Fire and
Isla Dawn.
I always forget Isla Dawn. She says such a pretty name, and I keep forgetting that name, Isla Dawn. So, but yeah, it's like
it made sense though. Like I'm not mad. It made sense. Them made sense them winning. Yeah, it made sense. It made a lot of sense them winning actually. So wasn't mad at it. Just ain't for me.
Okay.
I think the tag team division is about to get real. It's about to get real competitive.
There's a
little facelift for the tag team.
Little blood in it, you know.
I feel you, Brian. You're looking for exactly what I'm looking for. The OG Good Brothers, Carl Anderson, Doc Gallows.
I wasn't talking about them realness.
Okay. Well,
what's going to happen with the Street Profits? What's going on with them?
I mean,
they were showing a little bit more edge. They was looking like they was about to turn heel for a second. So like,
I'm ready for them to make a mutual business decision.
Okay, that's not cool because we all know that Dawkins is going to get lost in the hot sauce. That's not cool. We're not going to talk bad about black people, so we're just not going to do it.
He work.
The brothers, let me. No, we don't have time for this. We don't have time for a tag team
transfer window. That's what I'm sending. I'm sending Montez Ford to Raw.
To do what though?
Right.
Wrestle. Climb the ladder. I'm not putting him. I'm not. I won't put him in the world title picture. No.
No, but he's. I'll admit though, like I've seen him recently. I'm like, yeah, he looks like he's ready. Let me just go ahead and say that. But I just started liking Dawkins like 2 years ago. Like I was hard on him because I looked in his hooping shorts and those two headbands. You know, I hate headbands, Bobby Lashley. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've just got used to the brother. I'm like, you know what? He's actually really good. And like, you know, just I had to get past my biases because it was nothing ever wrong with Dawkins. He was always a heck of a talent because his lasting power shows it. But I just like, bro, I want say he's about to start shenanigans. I want him to be something different, but that's just me. This is my personal preference.
I like Dawkins. It's just I need him to carry himself like a star. Shout out to my good brother, my big bro Jermaine Every in the chat said, please stop sleeping on Dawkins. Like I'm not sleeping on him. The realness might be, dozing off a little bit on him.
I didn't give him a chance. I'm nervous for it because like where do you go from here? Like where do you go from here?
Right.
If you're not in the mix.
Yeah. I mean, and the thing is, like, so what's gonna be interesting, right? Both of these shows get ready to go 3 hours.
Mhm.
Of course, a lot of people want to be on Netflix.
Wait a minute, who said that? Who said both these shows was going 3 hours?
Allegedly.
Oh, I'm about to say that's the rumor mill.
Yeah, I hope not. Because
Okay.
I enjoy these 2 hour shows. I ain't gonna lie.
They're a little short to me. I'm used to the 3 hour shows.
Yeah, I need the 3 hours.
I was complaining the whole time.
You were.
And I'm not
you
no
always
more.
Complain, though.
You ain't lying.
These 2 hour shows, they move quick. That's why. When the last time people really said Raw was consistently better than SmackDown?
See, now you're getting controversial. We didn't come here to start a fight, Brian H.
I mean, the last time we were saying that was like 2011, 2012. You think back?
Whenever AJ Styles took over and became the face around the place, that conversation ended a long time ago.
Right.
You know what? That SmackDown was that Raw. No, what I'm saying is, when's the last time people said Raw was better?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like it's. I don't remember hearing that conversation.
Oh man,
recently.
When just was saying like Raw been better now, but for about the past 5 to 7 years, especially when SmackDown was on Tuesdays and Daniel Bryan was the GM, you had him and Miz and stuff as they was bringing back the Miz. Like all before that, SmackDown was the better show because it was 2 hours. It was quicker.
I don't know about all that. Seth Rollins was still rocking and it depends. See, I don't know. See, that's you do this. You do this, Brian H. We're not going to sit here for another 3.5 hours because this is
Seth was going up against Kofi Mania.
You're talking about a time period that stretches, and I'm like, dang it, I don't have the bullets in the chamber or the artillery to go toe to toe right now. So I feel like I'm caught off guard. So I was like, I want to disagree with you, but I got no proof of what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm just saying. All I'm saying is transfer window. SmackDown, they're gonna work. And I believe Dawkins could be in the mix. He can work. He can show his personality.
You start the Street Profits. Let them live. Just let them figure it out.
I want them to be
in division. Jessel's coming alive, and you trying to split them up.
Yes, because they already won. I mean, I know they ain't had the belts in years, but been there, done that.
Brother, you talk some sense to you, boy. You sitting there listening to him talk crazy.
Hey, man. Look, one thing about Brian is you just gotta let him talk. And I usually just let him talk, and I sit there and just be like, "Hey, man, hey, you do you."
Do you agree?
I already know what's going on.
Do you agree with him? Do you agree with him that it's time for them to make what you say, Brian? A mutual business decision.
Yeah, mutual business. We're gonna support each other. You still my brother. I'm still your brother. We don't have to break up.
There you go.
I'm gonna go chase some singles glory.
But no, keep them as a tag team because look, your tag team division is still kind of weak right now.
They just got to recook.
Exactly. They have an opportunity to be one of the top tag teams out there. They already are talent wise. Let's be honest. Sure. But if they can find a way to get over with the crowd, or they already are, honestly. But if they can find a way to kind of relate with the crowd a little bit more and get back into that title picture and be on top, hey, why not? Why not? We need that tag team division to be a little bit more healthy.
Yeah, they just out of the mix. It's only going to be
Uso and Big Jim.
No,
go back and get their belts.
No, they did. Jay Uso already went back to his blue and pink. He's not even worried about that.
Yeah, you're right. You saw that? right away.
He's like, look, man, this is a one-time deal. We took care of business. I'm going back to the bloodline. Will always be bloodline. But like I said, nope, we're not doing it. We're not talking about bloodline this episode.
But the bloodline.
But the bloodline, what?
Draws.
The new bloodline. Solo popped a big rating. It's like no, but
That's crazy.
we will see what happens with the tag team division on both sides, Raw and SmackDown. But like I said, also shout out to another heel, honorable mention, Wesley. He looks like a legitimate wrestler now.
Yep.
He switched his gear up. He cut his hair. I said, okay, I think I can get behind this guy. Are you not feeling Wesley's hair?
Yo, Wesley does no wrong in my eyes. I saw the haircut. I said, okay, this is what we doing. But no, in all seriousness, one thing that brother gonna do is he gonna always work, always look to improve, always look to get better. I believe, brother Hugh got some shots of him in the lens, him doing a lot of crazy stuff during the CZW days, and you see like him making it to WWE, and at a time, when they was about to win the tag team titles, possibly get called up, controversy happens, and it would have been so much easy for him to just get lost in the shuffle. And we how many times we've seen stuff like that. I was watching, today's the actually 10-year anniversary of Kevin Owens' debut.
Oh wow! Okay, see that we got the fat man. I got
he made his debut against Pamela Anderson of Baywatch.
Sure, yeah, we'll go with that. It just that's the one thing we're going to talk about when it comes to Kevin Owens and his debut
against CJ Parker. But during the match, during that night, the Ascension was on the card, and I'm sitting there watching this, and all
that
I
was
hear
Brother
is
Hugh's tag team, wasn't it, Brother Hugh?
I hear the real Dwayne Allen just going off like in my ear. I hear the real Dwayne Allen. It's like, yo, they trash, yo. What is wrong with it? They're not good, whatever, right?
Did you see that promo? It was like a PlayStation commercial from 1996.
It was
the Ascension were commoner dudes. I was like, dude, what is this? Sorry.
Yeah, but it was go back and watch that show. Shout out to Sasha Banks and Charlotte Flair. They put on a banger that night. Obviously, y'all know Sami Zayn finally wins the big one, wins the NXT title from a naked face Neville. Only for Owens to take him out. But as I'm watching that, I was thinking about I was bringing up Wesley, and I said with some of those tag teams, you might have somebody do something wrong, and then both people suffer, and that didn't happen with Wesley, and then he broke everybody's hearts earlier this year when he turned on his boys, and he was and nobody saw that coming.
Right. I said the Rascals are no more.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm up here, y'all still in TNA, and putting on bangers. So I'm excited. NXT actually, this is what the CW bought, and they're getting their money's worth. It's like when everybody wants people to get rushed to the main roster. Even a guy like their world champ, because boy, we are getting ready to cook. We got two brown skinned brothers for a world title.
Oh boy.
Oh my gosh.
Excuse my language. We don't have safe blacks as going up. You know what I mean? So we got these two guys in Trick and Obafemi, and it's like, bro, this is what CW paid for. We
got some culture.
Yeah. And it's making so much sense. Book him for All American.
Why do you want to keep? He keeps.
I'm pushing that agenda. I want to see my.
You keep saying All American like it's other shows on CW besides All American. I don't know what they are.
That's the only one I watch.
Right. It's other. He keeps saying All American. He want
to. Y'all watch the show?
He want Trick Williams to be on All American so bad, bro. We know.
I talked to Trick about it. He said it would make so much sense. You put
so
him.
He's down.
I talked to him and Jada Parker. I talked to both of them about it.
That look, it fits. I'm not gonna say it's not, but god dang it, bro. That's the only show you know. You don't say nothing else on that.
Because
Did they
I
still
don't
show
know
Dawson's
nothing
Creek on
else.
CW? No, the
I
Dawson's
don't know.
Creek canceled?
Dawson's Creek.
Look, I don't know what else is on there, but the way I look at it, I'm pretty sure some of the other people on the roster could go to them other shows too. But look, that's the show for the culture. Put our culture on there.
They're gonna put freaking I don't know, Tegan Knox on All American, then you're gonna be pissed. That's what you get. So
We're gonna get Lexus
yeah.
King on that bad boy.
yeah, there you
Yo.
go. That's when he's going All American. Lexus King with his blacked out Beijing sideburns. It's all good.
Right.
But listen, listen, that was an excellent segment. It was a different segment this week for What Did You Watch? Usually we kind of, we mention things and we breeze over, but it was a lot going on this week in professional wrestling, which is something that we often might do. But like I said, we're moving quite along. Go ahead, Brian H.
Sorry, I didn't realize that the next Saturday night's main event, Warrior had another belt. That's when he had the Corey Blue belt.
Oh, he sure did.
Yeah. In April, he had he won the black title, of course. In April, he had the white winged eagle. And then in July 28th, 1990, he had the blue winged eagle.
Mm-hmm.
That's like,
it seems ceremonious because guess what? We might be talking about the winged eagle just after this break, right? We have to step away for a moment for a quick message, quick little advertisement. And when we come back, we will preview Saturday night's main event and maybe allude to what Brian H. has mentioned about the winged eagle. We got a bit of a teaser earlier. Triple H dropped a bomb on us, on X earlier in the day. And it's something we have to discuss. I mean, championship culture. I mean, come on now. This is right up your alley. This is a conversation we've been having for years. And Triple H and his goddamn clever schemes he's about to reel us all in. But we'll talk about that and more. And we have to get down to the main event of Saturday night's main event, which is Kevin Owens versus Cody Rhodes. Is Kevin Owens right about Cody Rhodes? We're going to get to all that and more just after this. Stick with us.
You can download all of our audio content anytime on Spotify.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We just want to let you know the Wrestling Realm is now on Twitch. Catch Brian H. Waters or the real Dwayne Allen, and maybe both of us doing some more interactive live videos immediately after shows, or you can also catch us playing some retro games such as WWF Raw or WrestleMania the arcade game. Make sure you subscribe to the Wrestling Realm on twitch.tv/Wrestling Realm.
Watch us and subscribe to our Twitch channel at The Wrestling Realm.
What he said, and we are back.
What's wrong, Brian H. with the slick backs?
Wow.
Look,
Brian H. with the slick backs.
he hates all of those videos, by the way. Brian H. hates all that stuff. I don't mind it.
Yes, look how fat my face is.
Listen. I have to deal with fat face all the time. We make changes and we keep it moving. That's all. That's what it's all about.
But shout out to the game. Speaking of, I was trying to play No Mercy.
Okay, talk about that. Wait a minute. See, look, we was about to jump into it, but we're going to jump back for a second. How was that experience for you? Because let me put it in context for the people. So Brian H. had I don't know how to. I talked to Brian H. earlier in that day, I believe. I don't know how the conversation came up or the context behind it, but it came up. Somehow he was talking about No Mercy. We were talking about story modes or something. He was saying there was a difficulty to a certain strategy for certain parts.
Eddie Guerrero in China.
There you go. So the handicap. There's a handicap match in the storylines on WWF No Mercy for Nintendo 64. Now, Brian H. is historically a SmackDown guy. He's a PlayStation guy. So, he was the SmackDown 2 Know Your Role. In his mind, that's the greatest pro wrestling game. And Brian H. will tell you it has the better story modes and all these things. Oh, and it's fair enough. It's definitely a classic. And I was telling him like, oh yeah, what you have to do is you have to there's certain things that you can do to kind of like knock your opponent out and keep them down for a little bit longer, like throwing them into the turn post. And he was like, wait a minute, why didn't you tell me this before? I said, because I'm like, well, I didn't know, because the game is so easy to pick up and play, you're not paying attention to that. And that's exactly what he did. Versus I'm like, yo, you should have said something, because I could have told you there's a strategy to it, because you always got to throw somebody out the ring, and you got to do a crazy move or something outside to keep them down, because after a while it'll be harder for them to get back up. One-on-one, do your finisher, and by the time they get up and get back in the ring, the match is over with. That was the strategy. So he decided to dive back into it randomly, and I was like, well, okay, maybe he's giving us another shot. So there you go, Brian. Take it away. I gave the people the backstory about how we got to this point. So go ahead.
So
Express your feelings about No Mercy.
Yeah, where I messed up was because I went right back into that mode. Hadn't played the game in a few months, and therefore, just kind of getting back in the flow of the controller. So, I just
don't say it like it's a foreign object or something like that. It's Nintendo 64. It's the greatest. Like, I got to get back in the mode of the controller.
No, but I'm saying, like, all right, it's second nature when I pick up WWE
PlayStation fingers. Just tell the truth.
Well, yeah, but even not so much of that. Just the game. Like when you play a wrestling game, right? When you go from when you play WWE 2K, it's second nature. Pretty much throw somebody to the ropes, jump out the ring, whatever. I had to readjust because I didn't, obviously not growing up with No Mercy. My fingers aren't automatically, it's not muscle memory. Like Mortal Kombat, I can pick up Mortal Kombat 1. It's muscle memory, right? Up, sure. That's the Scorpion's finisher. Back B, that's the get over here.
There you go. Oh, it took me back B. Up,
exactly
back B.
It's muscle memory. I don't have that with No Mercy. So I'm playing, and like I said, I was just struggling. So I was like, all right, let me do a singles match. And then by that time I had video game fatigue. But I hit the Stone Cold Stunner, but then the time ran out. Because I just did a match of Austin versus Angle, and then all of a sudden Triple H comes up. I'm like, golly, man. But I think I'm gonna get back into it. I did read something on Reddit that said, don't go for the world title right away. Ease your way up because it's a lot of handicap matches. And I was like,
yeah, that's true.
So why ain't somebody say that? See, the best thing about SmackDown, right?
Here it comes.
Because it was a full story mode. And they have a calendar, and you went through each one, and then you went to the pay-per-views. You know what I mean? And that's what made it fun. Even WWF Attitude.
No,
was the same way.
That's where I got to stop you. Are you serious?
No, WWF Attitude. You had to earn your way. You start off at the house show, and the way the arenas look, they put so much detail in that game. If the actual gameplay was better, it would have been perfect. But the details,
I wouldn't go that far.
And for 1999 realness,
I mean, they made a perfect game. It was called WWF No Mercy. Everybody knows that.
But see, again, the house shows and the way the arena looked, it looked just like a plain house show. That's what I love about Attitude. And once you start playing the game, it's like, okay, we've evolved. It was good then, not as good no more. But back in the day, it was a lot of fun. But and it's always fun to go back and play those old school video games, playing Raw and WrestleMania arcade game. It's kind of straight to the point. It's fun to be more critical of I guess you would say the second gen, like your PlayStation and your Nintendo 64 games, because it's like, all right, y'all kind of got this figured out now. Y'all can do more. What are you lacking? I didn't get into the 64 games or the GameCube games. And I think I want to get a GameCube just to play those Day of Reckonings and the WrestleMania X8s and X9s.
Day of Reckoning was cool. The gameplay was pretty cool, but
it looks good.
No, I had Day of Reckoning for GameCube, but I recently got this right here. This thing
what is that?
This is called a R36S. It's all the craze on TikTok, right? So this is everybody's talking about this. It's an emulator device, right? So we're talking about, you ready? You guys look at this. What does that say? That says arcade, right? So we're talking X-Men. We're talking about the Simpsons, Ninja Turtles. These are all the game systems that it has on here. Is it stuck? Oh wait, I'm tripping. Here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
It's arcade, right? Japanese system 2. This is computer. Japanese system, PC. PC. Super Famicom. That's Japanese version of Super Nintendo.
Mm-hmm. That looked like a regular Nintendo controller.
Nintendo.
That's Nintendo.
Super Nintendo.
Okay.
Nintendo 64. Game Boy Color.
Yo.
Game Boy Advance.
You're going crazy.
Nintendo DS.
Yo.
Mega Drive. That's the loaded Sega Genesis. Dreamcast. Neo Geo. Neo Geo Pocket. Neo Geo Pocket Color. PlayStation. Sony PSP. And all this PC stuff.
So
Over 120,000 games.
The games are already on there.
Yes, it's like $36.
Wait,
Are you
send
serious?
me?
Yeah,
And this,
yeah.
and this,
that
and this
link.
handheld, and this freaking handheld device looked like a Game Boy, right? It's got
Yeah.
back controls and everything, dude.
Do it got wrestling games on there?
Yes, it has WrestleMania. It has WrestleMania the arcade game. It has WrestleMania Steel Case Challenge. It has WCW versus NWO Revenge. It has
Oh.
Look.
Raw vs SmackDown for PSP. So like it just depends on what system that it's adapted. It doesn't have everything, right? It doesn't have PS2 games, nothing like that. But like all those older games that are simple to put on these emulator devices, it's on here. And then you can add whatever's not on here, you can just add it. So you can download those games and put them on here. Lifesaver. So since we had an impromptu gaming conversation, you bring it up. This is what I was trying to tell you. Trying to tell you, buddy.
First of all, I think so. First, Saturday night's main event Saturday. That might call for another party.
If you say the word, just say the word. So yeah. So
the kids will be over here.
Impromptu game conversation. We don't talk about video games on here too much as far as wrestling games, but hopefully we can try to
send me the link. I will get that joint.
Yeah,
I'll say the word.
We need that. Yes, sir.
Pocket Gamer. What's it called?
It's everywhere. It's just a basic game console, but it's called, the model is a R36S. Just Google it, it'll pop up, and everybody's selling them. And of course, you got to find it somewhere that's reputable that you're not gonna get ripped. But and they have different.
I see it.
4 gig.
Teemu.
I got mine from AliExpress. So
wait, they got it at Ali in the store?
No, not Ali's. AliExpress, like ALI Express, like
Alibaba.
He got excited.
Yeah, I see that website.
So yeah. So like I said, it doesn't have WWF. It does have I think it does have WWF Warzone on it. I could be wrong, but it has it doesn't have WWF No Mercy on this one. But I can
arrives after Christmas.
See, I can go ahead and add it. So, but yeah, since you want to talk about a little bit of gaming, since
you held that. Oh, they got an orange one too.
Ooh,
I'm just saying, it's something to think about. That's all I'm saying.
You know me, I always buy myself a new video game of some sort for Christmas.
See?
After I get everybody else done. And I was just sitting up here thinking about that boxing game. I put it out there on Twitter. Everybody said, nah, not yet. Wait till it goes on sale. It's okay. So I'm like, well, what's the game I'm gonna play? I was even thinking about Cyberpunk because I never bought that. And I was like, if that's on sale, but now, yeah.
Bro, I'm trying to tell you that gets me through a lot of boring days. Waiting, a lot of waiting stuff like that. Trust me, and it's overwhelming because it's just like it doesn't have everything on there, but it has enough. It has over 120,000 games. This version does.
My mother would love.
Sure, yeah, it's got all Nintendo stuff like Super Mario Brothers World 1, 2, 3, 4. Like it's pretty loaded. So like any of those basic games and stuff like that, bro, it's from those old systems that we enjoy, that we still have an appreciation for. It's all there. Like I said, and you talking about, I think it was like $30-$40, $36 on sale, something crazy like that. So,
oh yeah, man.
So yeah, so like I said, we that was a nice little impromptu segment about wrestling video games. Brother. So, who's not a good brother? Might be Cody Rhodes, but we're gonna find out after that. But we got to get into Saturday night's
Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes. Why does everybody who hates Cody Rhodes love his father and keeps throwing it in his face? Because Kevin Owens, we got to get to this in a second, but he definitely showed up with another Dusty Rhodes t-shirt on. So I'm just going to put it out. Cody Rhodes and The Rock. Love you, brother. I hate your son, though. Okay. So Saturday night's main event, it looks like so far it's just a 4-match card. I don't know if it's going to be a surprise 5th match announced, but so far we're looking at 4 matches. We have Kevin Owens versus Cody Rhodes for the WWE Undisputed Championship. We have Sami Zayn versus a returning Drew McIntyre. I wonder what this is about. We gotta dig into this. Of course, Liv Morgan versus Io Scott, one of the most dangerous professional wrestlers on the planet. Oh my goodness, she's dangerous. And we have the World Heavyweight Championship with my man Gunther defending his championship against freaking Finn Balor and Damian Priest. You talking about? I don't know how that's going to work out. But yeah, we got a 4-match card. You know, this is a different. I know Saturday night's main event has got this big retro feel to it, and we're trying to celebrate its history, and we're trying to, you know, we're trying to bridge these gaps. And I noticed that's what Triple H and they kind of trying to do. We're trying to take these retro concepts and bring them into today's history and today's product, and it seems to be fitting in with WWE trying to take over the world. Because my cousin hit me up like, wait a minute, WWE on NBC? I said, bro, they're everywhere. They're going streaming, cable, and basic television. So here we are. They're bringing it back. 4-match card. You guys think this is going to live up to the hype that they're giving it as far as Saturday night's main event and what it stood for before and what they're trying to translate it into today?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Well, it's the wrestling realm, and it was made public information. You know, doing one of the on the Masked Man, there was a Shoemaker said he got a text and said, we are if you want to know how serious we are taking it, boom, that was right before the Cody and KO match was announced.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when you keep Cody Rhodes off of a big 4, because you're preserving him for a Saturday night's main event, it lets you know something.
Sure.
I look back at, you know, as I've been, you know, kind of not watching them per se for the story, but just kind of letting it play on TV today while I've been working and stuff. The presentation is big, right? It was always when you think about, when you go back and look at, I used to love the Coliseum home videos, right?
There you go.
And every time there would be the packages, like you remember when Bret Hart making some noise video promo, right? You would always see images of like Bret Hart when they would put together these montages. It would be like Bret at the SummerSlam, the Survivor Series, the Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, Saturday night's main event. You know what I mean? When they would do the stuff over his career. And you look at it, like all the matches were main event worthy. And what the thing was people had to understand was at that time, like right now it's Dusty Rhodes versus Macho Man Randy Savage, right? Now, mind you, I'm watching one from 1990, October 13th, 1990. This is shortly after, what's her name? What you call it, left him by the wayside. Sweet Sapphire.
Okay,
remember she left him at SummerSlam, Dusty, that is. You know what I mean? You think back to that WrestleMania they wrestled, and the tag match. And the whole thing is about this was what people got to remember, you did not get these matches on television. You know what I mean? We were so used to, we now get so much wrestling that it's like, well, okay, I'm going to see Seth Rollins versus Cody Rhodes on Raw 3 weeks in a, well, not 3 weeks in a row anymore, but you didn't get those big matches on television. So Saturday night's main event was bigger than Superstars, because Superstars, it would be Dusty Rhodes versus a local jobber, or excuse me, enhancement talent, and somebody
we
else.
don't call
and
it
then
anymore.
You get a promo from like Hulk Hogan because he wasn't wrestling. Well, this is where you was going to see Hulk Hogan on free television. So if you don't have Peacock for some reason, and you don't have pay-per-view, right? This is that equivalent. You're getting on free television, on NBC, you are getting a WWE championship match. You're getting a World Heavyweight Championship match. You're getting the Women's World Championship match, and you're getting a grudge match. So to me, this lives up to the hype, the production, the way they're pushing this. And remember that key word right there, live nationwide.
Yeah, when you put it that way, you did make it sound pretty goddamn important when you said it like that. Brother Hugh, how do you feel about this modern feel Brandon gave us a really detailed history lesson about Saturday Night's Main Event and its relevance and importance, because many people, especially this generation, may not understand why it was so important. The what the big deal is about seeing WWE program on broadcast television. But as they kind of bring it to the forefront of 2024 and moving forward, how are you feeling about the job that they're doing when it comes to bridging the gap between the past and bringing it into the present?
I think they're doing a phenomenal job bringing back the nostalgia act.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
right now, to be honest, this was a perfect time to do it for them because we're in that season where usually nothing's going on in
Okay.
WWE.
Yeah.
Survivor Series, from right after Survivor Series, everything goes dead, right? So
Sure.
why
Mhm.
not? The placement is perfect. You have a big name event making a return, and you have one of your top stars, the champion, Cody Rhodes, headlining
Mhm.
that event, right? It
Right.
makes sense. It makes sense. Like Brian said, he wasn't on Survivor Series. I forgot that he wasn't even on a Survivor Series. But
What are you trying to say, brother Hugh? You kind of just you slid that in.
because you know what really matters.
Okay, there it is.
Yeah, you know what really matters. But
You,
nah,
you know the tribal chief.
the
Now I'm
tribal
saying,
chief, yeah, absolutely. Tonga Lola, what's up, man?
say,
Get well.
And he hurt.
You know what I'm saying?
And he hurt.
Get well. Yeah, get well soon. He tore his
You
tricep or
you
something like that,
you
or his
don't
bicep.
like him that much.
bro,
Uh,
everybody is hurt.
Yeah,
right, right.
they all wear hard on that
He
one.
ain't lying.
They had to. They had to. It made sense. Yeah,
Yo, this
they
how
had
you know
to.
big Saturday night's main event was. Virgil and DiBiase coming through the crowd, and Virgil don't have his signature white on. He put on his good clothes. He put on the black.
Hey,
When they wear a
wow.
different outfit.
Oh wow.
Dusty got on black and red
The
polka
good
dots.
clothes.
See, this
Oh, yeah,
is
he showed off.
I don't think people will understand the importance of the time period that it was in, because you kind of had to experience wrestling in the 80s and 90s to
Woo!
really get the magnitude of it all. But
Bro, real quick, I know. Do y'all remember watching these Saturday night main events like the early '90s? I
Hmm
know
mm-mm.
I'm
I know
okay.
I did. I didn't watch that stuff. At a certain time, my father wanted the TV to his goddamn self.
Mm.
So Pops was like, "Nah, it's time for y'all to go to bed." Like I would hear about it, but
Mhm.
I was like, "What the heck is Saturday's main event?" I just assumed it was something another wrestling show that I didn't get a chance to watch.
See, I didn't understand, like, it didn't come on every week. It's
Mhm.
funny because
Yeah,
they trying to recruit a young Dustin Rhodes, the natural. Um, I didn't realize that it was something that you didn't come on every week. I just, I thought it was like, oh, wrestling on. But then, like, how some stuff trigger a memory. Now I
Right.
can
yeah.
remember kind of like my mother and father being like, wrestling come on tonight, so you better get all your stuff done if you want to, watch it before you go to bed. Because normally I would have to get up and go to church tomorrow. But on these
Mhm.
particular, and I guess I would know based on watching WWE Superstar, so I watched that faithfully because remember, this is also
Right.
before the Monday Night Raw era.
Sure, of course.
Like,
Yeah.
this is before that. So again, yeah, we had WWE Superstars on Fox 45 here in Baltimore. It was Fox 45. Um, was it 12 o'clock and 4 o'clock Eastern time? But it was, it was like quarterly. So
Sure.
this is exciting, and they bringing it back in January, the last week in January, I believe they're
Yeah,
going to go in San
yeah.
Antonio.
Yeah. So
San
it's just
Antonio.
that I would definitely invite people to do your research on Saturday night. They did a DVD years ago about Saturday night's main event. I'm sure maybe they'll probably I know they
It's on
had
my
WWE.
Instagram. I posted it.
Okay, there you go. So
They
so
probably
you're already on
they
top
probably
of it.
had something cooking. They got something cooking right now. Knowing Triple H and
You know,
them, they got
David
something
uploaded a
cooking.
lot of stuff to like WWE Vault. So
Yeah.
like you
Remember,
never
he
know.
said
Usually it's timely. So we'll see.
that's a great YouTube page to follow, WWE Vault. But I would also I would also believe that I could see them having another like pamphlet book like they did at
Mhm.
SummerSlam.
Right.
I don't know if we were supposed to ever know that. Thank you, Cody Rhodes. I guess he's, the QB1. But there was a book that, remember he said for the history, so people could say these are the legends that's gonna be here. I would imagine of some sort there would be something like that for Saturday night's main event.
Okay. It will definitely be nice to see. So quickly, like I said, because it's 4 matches on the card, I think we can kind of rush through this pretty simple. But let's talk about the 4 matches that they're giving us, and just give us quick predictions, nothing too in detail. But what are the chances that Kevin Owens walks out of this thing as WWE champion? Okay, your silence shows me that it's probably next to 0.
I'm going on a limb. My guy's going to do it.
Okay, so you think KO is going to walk out of this? It definitely will be controversial. It will be a shock if they wanted to set the tone early.
Yeah, I know a lot of the things, Raw giving go to Netflix. But why not? You know what I mean? Why not? Cody can win. Cody could win it back at the Royal Rumble. Maybe he don't win it back at the Royal Rumble. Elimination Chamber. It's actually a lot more time between now and WrestleMania. I know that it's kind of like foregone conclusion. After the work he's done, he'll be the champion going into WrestleMania. But what if he's not? But yeah, that's the one. As bad as I would love, as much as I would love to see Finn Balor, if I had to choose one, and in WWE, they try to lure me in, because what did they do? Kevin Owens did a out of character interview. He talking about the Stone Cold Stunner, how he asked Austin and how he used it as a trick. Like, if Austin ever gets back in the ring, who's he's going to wrestle? A person who does the stunner. He said that's how he got his match.
Wow, he baited Austin come out of retirement. That's crazy. What about you, brother Hugh? Does Kevin Owens walk away as WWE champion?
I want him to, but
you sound so conflicted.
Man? What's the biggest storyline? Come on now, Cody Rhodes is still tied into the Bloodline storyline.
You still can't let that go. You think this is all about Cody Rhodes?
Because look, you got the final boss lurking. You never know he's going to show up.
Well,
then you got to understand. Go ahead.
He said, whether you have the championship or not, you and I are going to do this. So do you still, even with that knowing, does that play a factor in it, or you still like, nope, he's still attached to the bloodline somehow?
It still has to deal with that title at the end of the day.
Okay.
He held the title in his hand. He said he wants this. I like your title. Let me hold that. And it makes sense. All right, no disrespect to Kevin Owens, but Cody Rhodes finished the story against who? The GOAT, right? The greatest of all time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that next person to dethrone, the person that dethroned the GOAT, has to be elevated somehow, some way, right? It has to make sense, right?
You hear that realness?
Or am I tripping?
No,
I can't just put it on him and then a couple weeks later, let me get it back. Cody wins it back. Nah, it don't make sense like that. Like if you're gonna give it to Kevin Owens, give it to Kevin Owens. Let him really do something with it.
No, I don't think it has to be a couple weeks, but I see what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying?
Realness, you heard the GOAT, right?
No, I'm just. I mean, everybody has
real quick.
Everybody has their own GOATs.
Who would you admit is the GOAT first? Roman Reigns or LeBron James? If you had to choose.
It's definitely Roman Reigns. Are you kidding me? That's the easy one. You thought you were setting me up with that one. That's the easy one.
I just wanted to hear you say it.
Yeah, listen, you can have it all you want because we all know who the GOAT is. So it's okay. So Brother Hugh's not convinced that Kevin Owens is the right guy. They're going to give it to him because there's unfinished business as far as Cody Rhodes and the bloodline, correct?
And it builds to another storyline that everybody's rumored to have going on now. I keep seeing these graphics and whatnot of Drew, Seth, and KO getting together and doing this whole anti-bloodline type faction. Maybe they feed into something like that. Did
you say Drew and Seth on the same side?
That's crazy, right? That's crazy, but they both hate the bloodline, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they hit him that much.
They both have that. Look, see them. Look, man. It when enemies have a common interest.
There you go. The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Right, man. You can put everything to the side.
I'm
just going off what the people are talking about. This is not my thoughts 100%. This is what I'm seeing through social. That's it.
Okay.
They could go that route, and it would make sense.
I'm going to tell you who I think it is instead, but that it has a lot to do with Kevin Owens and something he said in this interview that we're going to talk about in a second that he did with Michael Cole, which was absolutely hilarious. What about Drew McIntyre, Sami Zayn? I don't think that match even ends. I think it's a no contest. What about you guys? What are you thinking?
Mm.
What's your predictions?
I like Sami Zayn. No, I don't. I like Drew McIntyre.
Yeah,
G,
it has to
just
be true.
Yeah, I like
yeah,
Drew
come on, cut
McIntyre.
it out. So we got
Nah,
Liv Morgan and Io Sky. I'm doing all the easy ones first. So Liv Morgan and Io Sky. Do you really believe anything's going to transpire without shenanigans going down?
it's Jiffy time, baby.
Oh, so
Nah.
are you teasing the cash in? What are you saying, Brian H?
Oh, she's showing up. I mean, you want Tiffany Stratton on NBC.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
Or do you want it on Netflix?
No, just see. Remember, this is one night. I just
Okay.
need her on there. But if she's on Netflix, that's because she done cashed in. It would make sense because I feel like I could be wrong, but I feel like the whole Tiffany and Nia Jax is kind of cooling down a little bit.
A lot.
I think it's a
like
swerve. Like Strickland. You see what I did there? That's a bar.
Hey.
That was a bar.
Yeah.
He ain't lying.
That's ain't supposed to be this complicated, but yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'm going cash in. They got to get something.
Okay, so you calling cash in. What about you, brother? Here,
I'm gonna go
Liv
with Io
Morgan,
because I
Io
like.
Sky.
I'm going with Io because I like what I saw at the end of Raw.
Okay.
Io versus Rhea. I love it.
Mm.
I would love to see that feud. I mean, it
Okay.
probably doesn't make sense now because they're two baby faces.
True.
But you could probably make a storyline out of it because they are friends and just out of respect for the title, for themselves in the title. Let's fight it. Let's fight it
What
out.
about Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan's unfinished business?
I know that's the only thing.
He said, "I know."
They can fight forever.
It's okay.
Listen, yeah, but I'm gonna go with Io anyway because there needs to be a title change. And out of everyone, as much as I want Finn to win, I don't think it's gonna happen. Him and
Liv
Priest
just
gonna keep going.
celebrated 200 days.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh, you know what though?
Dang. What's up?
You going somewhere with that, brother Hugh? Because you thinking if Liv loses this title, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the Judgment Day could also lose the tag titles very soon.
Mm-hmm.
No more Judgment.
That's happening.
Yeah, I mean, you can almost pencil in a New Day.
You still got Elimination Chamber. Still got the Rumble.
Yeah, I mean, but honestly, they could all be by Raw and Netflix, right?
Mm-hmm.
They could all their titles could be gone, and that could be the beginning of dissemination.
Ooh, but the transfer portal.
That's
We saw
a thing
Dom
too.
talk. We saw Dom talking to Nick Aldis.
He definitely
And
was.
You gotta think if Dom is going over to SmackDown, possibly they're teasing that Liv is going to come over too. You also saw Gunther talking to him, and I said it earlier in the show, like that title switch because you have the Netflix and whatnot. You might want to have that Undisputed Championship on the Netflix brand, right? Because those are the biggest storylines, and that's the more over title in the WWE, right?
That's the best way to put the World Heavyweight Championship on freaking Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns versus Gunther.
I ain't trying to get fine realness, but y'all bringing up a lot of good stuff, and it's just making me think about stuff that's happening in real life. So real quick, Dom Mysterio, if you GM Nick Aldis, are you giving him a 15-year contract for $765 million?
There you go with this Juan Soto stuff. There you go.
You saw that?
Which out of all
money,
is a wrestler on the roster you give a 15-year contract to?
That's not fair because baseball, its contracts are different from regular.
We ain't got the numbers. I'm thinking more the years in this case. Like Mark Henry had a 10-year deal.
He was also an Olympian though.
And we would say it paid off. It didn't seem like it at first. If he was a baseball player, he would have got cut. But long-term building. But yeah, anybody on the main roster, because NXT is cheating, right? Because a lot of them are young. But anybody on the main roster, you're giving a 15-year deal to, besides Dom Mysterio?
Jey Uso.
15 years? Jey's like 38.
He's gonna be the man. Oh yeah, I guess you're right. That was a bad example. Um,
I can't think of anybody else, man.
yeah, probably
Braun?
Braun. Yeah, Braun
Braun is
Breaker's
Braun.
one.
Okay, Braun. Yeah, definitely
Yeah.
Braun.
You talking about where he's gonna be in 15 years? Oh my goodness.
Woo! Multiple
Yeah.
times champion.
Possibly Melo.
Yeah, easy.
Be bigger than
Um,
both his dad and his uncle. And
like
that's gonna be
why you gotta throw that in the Steiner's face for somebody that claims that that's
I-
your favorite tag team? You throw that in their faces a lot. Hope you know that.
that's how much I believe in Braun Breaker.
That you just
Like,
gonna just trash your favorite tag team. You're just burying them right now.
It's not a burial. I think that's what they would want.
Yeah,
They
but
love
not for you to bring it up over and over again. Like, oh, they're gonna be bigger. We know this is your favorite tag team.
You act like I said Zilla 5'2" will be bigger than Umaga.
I would never say that about the Good Brothers. I just want you to know that.
The wait, the what? What's that?
I would never say that. I would never be like if if one of them have a son. If Gay let me see, what's his name? Doc Gallows got a younger son. Doc Gallows has a son that's like, I think he's kind of young, it's like I don't know, maybe 14 or 15 years old, something like that. If he ever becomes like a superstar, I will never say he's gonna be a bigger super over and over again to keep trashing.
Realness, I regret to inform you, they won't have much to do to be better.
Listen, my brother, their contracts are up in 2027. We got a long time to figure it out. That's right, I looked it up. But we got to move on.
Yeah, I know.
we got to move on to this last match. Gunther, Damian Priest, Finn Balor. This is going to be a mess. But is there any chance that Gunther doesn't retain his world heavyweight champ? Like sometimes it's like somebody's to win and it's like somebody's to lose. I don't think there's a chance between the bad blood between Finn and Damian's going to get in the way. But I don't see Gunther losing his championship. What are you thinking, Brother Hugh?
That's exactly what I'm thinking. That bad blood. I like I said, I know what I want. I want
Mhm.
Finn to get this title. I
Mhm.
feel like he needs it. And I've been wanting it for a while. Let's say ever since the Universal title, right? He needs to be back in that picture. He needs his due. His thank you.
Can he carry a show?
That's the issue.
Okay.
I don't think he can do it with people like Gunther on the same card as him or the same roster as him, or and the other names. So like,
sure.
If anything, if they do make that happen, it's definitely gonna be a transition. It's like a quick transition. So he might not have it for that long, and Gunther is gonna get it back, and then they're gonna go right back into Priest and Finn.
Sure, and most likely somebody's gonna have something to do with it. Go ahead, Brian H.
I just think we're in the risk-taking season. Why not? You know what I mean? Gunther is doing good, but he's not. You're not. You wouldn't be surprised if he wasn't a world champion at WrestleMania. You know what I mean? Because the stakes are raised higher with him being a world heavyweight champion than it was when he was an Intercontinental champion. You know, quite frankly, you give me the book. Make sure y'all check out the Give Me the Book tab on the YouTube channel. The money matchup for the world title, if borrowing Roman Reigns isn't on, you know what, even if Roman is on SmackDown, on Raw, the world title match is Seth Rollins and CM Punk.
Kinda.
You know, because now we realize Seth Rollins got to somehow get he got to somehow get back that title because CM Punk said, you don't have nothing I want, right? So he got to figure out that. But then if Punk gets it, now Seth said, you got something I want. Either way, to me, that's a world title match. You know what I mean? Because Punk, he wanted that main event spot. He never had it before. That's how you do it. The world title didn't main event last year. I'm sure it's got a main event this year, right? And I just don't think
got to.
Yeah, when John Cena wins it.
See, I keep forgetting about 2025 John Cena.
Hey, I'm down with that. But you know
Goldberg.
And Oldberg is coming back.
Right.
Oldberg is having a retirement match. So
yeah. But I just don't think Gunther, and I think this is a safe way you take the title off of him without him getting pinned.
Who wins?
Dang, yes.
Finn Balor.
And Finn Balor can carry Goldberg in a match for his retirement match.
No.
He said he's got beef with Gunther.
Mm-hmm.
and Gunta called him out. And why the heck not? Would you want one of the pro wrestling's most decorated world champions of all time have one more world title match against a young stud like Gunta, who's going to have to carry Goldberg the whole way? You said what?
Why you don't. That's why it doesn't need the title.
Okay,
it's literally you like you said, he called him out, right? Goldberg Lashley 2 wasn't for the title.
True.
You
Now,
know,
was this the one in Saudi?
yeah, when Lashley put him over.
That was the best match though that Goldberg's probably ever had though. Like I was like, this is probably what I'm exaggerating, but I'm like,
love the one at SummerSlam.
matches.
Even though I don't go back and watch that SummerSlam because my daughter's first wrestling heartbreak, so you know,
Sensitive
but
subject. It's okay.
Yeah, very, very. But I'm down with that being the. I just think that like that was enjoyable, just watching, you know, him make Goldberg's son cry and all that stuff. I think Goldberg and Gunther, you can have a straight, just hard hitting fight. Meanwhile, Finn Balor, Damian Priest, I think you can take that for the next few weeks, you know, into you know, because we got a couple more weeks. Like I said, this is risk taking season. Show's gonna be pre-taped anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You know, after probably after this weekend. So why not? And then you can switch that bad boy on Netflix.
Question: do you need Seth Rollins and CM Punk right away?
Ooh.
Nah, it's gonna slow cook. So by the
And
time we get to WrestleMania in April,
Mhm.
no, May. Sheesh.
The only
It's
reason I say that, oh, my bad, go ahead. The
no, I
only
was
reason I
just
say that,
mhm.
go ahead, my bad. Go ahead, you got it.
No, you want it.
No, I said the only reason I say it, the only reason I'm saying it is because what if Finn wins and then they do a callback
Mm-hmm.
to Seth and Finn, just as a that's a filler
Oh yeah,
feud
you could do
until
that.
you know Seth and
That,
CM Punk.
that's how I think you do it though, right?
That's yeah,
But you know, I don't think you
definitely.
necessarily go. I don't think you necessarily hear me. Oh, sorry.
Are you going out?
All right,
You
how
had
about
a
now?
big echo.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
good now. We good.
My headset, but I don't think you necessarily go right away with Punk and the feud. See, like somehow Seth got to get that world title back, right?
Yeah,
Or Punk got to get that world title. You know, so I think you can do that with Finn. I think Finn's good enough. He's showing that, and I think you know he can that dance partner. You know, maybe him and Priest. I don't know. I just think that. I mean, it's really. I'm going out on a limb. I'm not betting on it. So you know, we having fun with this.
right,
So I'm picking both of those guys to win the world titles. Put me on paper. This is the reason why I don't bet.
right. I feel like Finn has to elevate that character anyway. If you notice, like he's been kind of like leaving the Judgment Day in the dust.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's been acting kind of shitty towards the Judgment Day. So this would be that one thing that puts him over and past the Judgment Day. You
Well,
see
they
what I'm
would
saying?
celebrate,
Then they
but
would
then
celebrate, but
yeah, then you
at the
know.
end of the day, it would end up breaking him up because he gets big headed. Oh, I'm the champ. I'm this, I'm that, whatever, whatever. You guys, you're nothing right now. You know what I'm saying? Or like, where's your goal? Because of course they're gonna lose the tag titles, right? He has to lose the tag titles if he's gonna get the heavyweight championship. And
Mm-hmm.
then and plus, what's the next week? They go against the Viking Raiders. They're in Ivo's hometown. Ivo about to bring that home. He's about to
Mm.
get those titles on, and then the New Day is gonna take it off of him, and they're gonna
Really?
keep it forever.
You day?
The new
Yep.
New Day. What, are they still the New Day?
Yeah.
New Day Evil? New Evil Day? I don't know.
Well, listen. Saturday night's main event is going to be definitely a spectacle. I'm looking forward to it this Saturday. It's going to be a lot of fun. You guys like rebooked like 4 different storylines, so it's
Definitely.
crazy. It's crazy to see where it's going to go. But like the realness of this computer is like on low, and I think I got a short in my cord. So
Oh no.
Let's get
Well,
to
we
it.
Kevin
got
Owens, let's wrap this bad boy up. And if the computer cuts off, just close the show out. Kevin Owens, Cody Rhodes.
this fighting.
Is Kevin Owens telling the truth about Cody Rhodes. First of all, they had this interview, which was absolutely hilarious, between Kevin Owens and Michael Cole. And Kevin Owens said some things about Cody Rhodes that I can't say he didn't tell the truth. He has a legitimate gripe about why he feels the way he feels. But is Kevin Owens justified? Is Cody Rhodes wrong in the situation? We've never officially talked about it, but is he really at fault? This is Kevin Owens we talking about. He's behaved himself for long enough. Is he really wrong for feeling the way he feels about Cody Rhodes in this moment?
He kind of has a point.
You feel me?
Right. He really does kind of have a point. Like, that's your boy. That's your best friend, right? Or one of your best friends. And
True.
you're going up against a squad that tried to end your career multiple occasions. Roman Reigns hit him with a golf cart. He ran him over, right?
Definitely him on a golf cart. Unnecessarily, by the way.
And if I'm gonna be real with you.
Mhm.
Y'all my friends, y'all my guys, y'all my brothers. Right? If somebody out there is trying to kill me and y'all go and side with them, I'm coming after y'all too.
Brandon, see?
Why you say to me?
Because you're such a Roman Reigns supporter, and Cody Rhodes is being a bad friend because he felt like he had to do it because of the bloodline 2.0 was so dangerous because your guy couldn't get the job done, and you know what I mean. This is where the way it had to be. Like, he's breaking up friendships.
He told him he didn't need him. Cody always sticking his nose in somebody else's business.
Well, he asked him to help him out, and he did. But Kevin Owens said some things. You know, should Cody Rhodes? Is this Kevin Owens really upset about the reasons why Cody Rhodes is in the situation that he's in, or is this really about Kevin Owens taking his foot off the gas when he had a chance to take Cody out for the WWE Championship? He fought his instincts to do something that he knew he felt like he wanted to do, but instead he fought it. He stayed a good guy, and now he's paying for it. Is it about that, or is he legitimately upset about the fact that Cody Rhodes joined somebody that made his life a living HE double hockey sticks for the last 4 years? There's got to be some truth to it somewhere.
Yeah. That's tough.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I thought. That's exactly what I thought. See, y'all thought it was going to be simple and easy to get through this, and now it's not.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like it would be a little bit of both, right? But mostly what he said.
So if that's the
back.
case, brother, who do we cheer for? Kevin Owens has a legit reason to be upset, whether he handled it the best way possible or not. But you just said you would come after us in the same situation. Like, yo, if somebody hit me with a golf cart and y'all outside being friends with them for whatever reason, or you know, partaking in their personal business, to get into a fight, they say, look, man, we need somebody to fight with us, and you join them. After they hit me with a golf cart, you coming after us too. So it's justified, right? Or is it not?
It's definitely justified. That's bro. Like, you talking about loyalty as far as friends? Nah, bro. Like, that, you don't cross that type of line.
See,
you don't. I don't care what it. Yeah, he's the honorable champion. I gotta help out those in need. This, Captain America. Nah, we don't have time for all that.
Because he
I
ain't
finished my
listen. No
story
honor
now,
amongst
Mr. Goody
thieves. That's what his
Two-Shoes.
daddy said.
Yeah,
He ain't pay
that's
attention.
exactly what he said. Right. Nah, Kevin Owens. I'm cheering for Kevin Owens. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, first of all, he's hilarious. This Kevin Owens is what I like. I don't like babyface Kevin Owens.
Yeah,
This Kevin Owens unleashed. This is what we used to see back. This is what we used to see back in ROH days. Kevin Steen just going off, just going crazy, vigilante style like Kevin Owens. But I'm going for Kevin Owens.
This is
Cody
definitely
Rhodes,
the best.
like I said, we just need something different. Yeah, this is definitely his feud that's gonna define his reign, his first reign as champion. And I'm talking about Cody Rhodes.
Well, I think he needs it, and Kevin Owens is an excellent dance partner. We're going to find out probably all this and more this Saturday at Saturday Night's Main Events, when Cody Rhodes takes on Kevin Owens for the WWE Undisputed Championship. And speaking of the Undisputed Championship, we mentioned it earlier. Triple H dropped a bomb on us earlier on X. He kind of said, "Look, man, this is all kind of retro. So hey, listen, for one night, this is what we're doing." Cody Rhodes unloads this case. He looks up, the gold flash in his face. He's like, "Oh yeah." We all know he's been pushing for some type of classic winged eagle moment. Does he have that moment at Saturday night's main event? Does he bring back the updated winged eagle for one more night?
Yes.
I'm looking forward to it. I think they kind of just pretty much told us how it was going down. But the fact is, I think they sold us on Saturday night's main event. I think they sold us on the feuds. I think they sold us on the matches. And I think they sold us on the spectacle and the history of it all. And this is going to be something that I don't think anybody should miss. It should be a lot of fun. Shout out to everybody who has, everybody should have NBC at this point, as far as television is concerned. But this is a big deal as far as WWE being on broadcast television. So yeah, listen, we're going to take this home. We're going to wrap this up before this taps out. We can get to the outro, no problem. But thank you for joining us. Definitely follow us. Follow Wrestling Realm on all of our social media channels at Wrestling Realm. Follow Championship Culture on Instagram at Championship Culture _. Is that correct, brother? You?
Yes.
Yeah, Championship Culture _ on Instagram. Join us this Saturday for Saturday night's main event. May tweet, may not tweet. Who knows? But we're going to have a good time. That's a guarantee. Join us next week. We will talk about the fallout and all that comes from it as we continue on this road to WrestleMania. So don't forget to join us next week at same bat time, same bat place, same bat channel. Nobody caught that. No, it's okay. Cool. It's cool. It's old. No, it's all right. It's old Batman reference. It's all good.
Throwback. Adam West. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's it's cool. It's just, it fell flat. There's no pop to it. It's all good.
With the shark spring.
Hopefully we get a bigger pop next week. We will see you all. We are out of here. Thanks for joining us. Join us next week. We gone. Peace.
Houston, we have a problem.
For all exclusive shows and bonus material, subscribe to our Patreon channel at patreon.com/thewrestling_realm. You can watch all of our Wrestling Realm content anytime on youtube.com/thewrestling realm.